Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, how's life? Let me introduce myself to you. My name is Ulfa Ainun Nafilah. I'm from TBI 3A, and in this video I want to explain about conditional sentence. Let's enjoy! The first one we'll learn about definition, and then the second is form of conditional sentence. The third is type of conditional sentence, and then the last is example. Okay, now the first one is definition. Definition of conditional sentence is a compound sentence that contains the condition of an assuming or an event that has not occurred. So in English sentence, this presumption begins with if as a marker that the condition has not yet occurred. Okay, the second material is form of conditional sentence. Conditional sentence forms include if clause and main clause. If you notice, the if clause is part of the conditional sentence. Meanwhile, the main clause usually contains consequences or consequences of the condition. And after knowing the meaning and form of conditional sentence, you must also understand all types of conditional sentence so that you can use them appropriately according to the situation and conditions when you are talking. And okay, listen and understand very well the explanation and example for the following types of conditional sentence. And in the third and the fourth, we learn about type and example. Okay, the first type is conditional sentence type 0. And in the second, conditional sentence type 1. And in the third, conditional sentence type 2. And in the last, conditional sentence type 3. The first one is conditional sentence type 0. This type is used to express something that is certain to be true or fake, and the tenses used are usually the present tense. Okay, the formula is if plus simple present and simple present. This type 0 conditional sentence is still simple and easy to understand. Like the example of the sentence in here. If you heat water to 100 degrees Celsius, it boils. Or it could be like this. Water boils if you heat it to 100 degrees Celsius. So the first type is easy, right? Next we learn about conditional sentence type 1. This conditional sentence type 1 often referred to as future possible or present real conditional, usually used to say something that may happen in the future. That is, if you use this conditional sentence, it means that you are sure that the conditionality will still happen in the future. The if clause is usually in the present simple tense. And the formula is if clause include if plus subject plus verb 1 plus object, and then the main clause include subject plus will plus verb 1 plus object. And this is the example of the sentence. If I see you tomorrow, I will buy you a drink. This sentence means that there is still possibility that if the person speaking sees the person being spoken to tomorrow, the person speaking will buy him a drink. Okay, the third type is conditional sentence type 2. This type, often called present impossible or present unreal, This type is used to say something that is very unlikely to happen, or in other words, almost impossible to happen. So this type of conditional sentence is suitable for expressing dreams or fantasy. And the formula here is if clause include if plus subject plus verb to plus object, and then main clause include subject plus would plus verb 1 plus object. And here the example of sentence. If I won the lottery, I will buy a new house. So this sentence expresses an assumption about what the speaker will do if he wins the lottery. However, if the speaker uses conditional sentence type 2, it means that he thinks he will not win the lottery. Okay, the last is conditional sentence type 3. This type can also be called past impossible or past unreal, usually used to express conditions in the past that may not happen again in the present. And this type is often used to criticize or regret, and the tense used in the if clause is the past perfect tense. This is the formula of conditional sentence type 3. If clause include if plus subject plus had plus verb 3 plus object, and then the main clause include subject plus would plus have plus verb 3 plus object. And this is example of sentence. If I had studied harder, I would have passed my exam. So this means that the person used to be lazy to study, so now he does not pass the exam. Okay, that's all explanation from me. It's hope that you have understood my explanation well, and thank you for your nice attention. Saya say wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.